Easy, but if it with God. So I keep thanks to God, oh my, thanks to God, oh my, almighty, thanks to God, oh my, thanks to God, oh my, almighty, thanks to God, oh my, thanks to God, oh my, almighty, thanks to God, oh my, thanks to God, oh my, almighty, like thanks to God, almighty. Bad man no free stop. Everyday trouble going crazy. Bad man them feeling mighty. But I give thanks to God Almighty. I give thanks to God Almighty. I'm no living fear. Doubt them disappear. I remember when this man no go become nothing. I say man no go become nothing. I say me I don't become something. I say me I don't become something. All I do I need munje. 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 Like thanks to God Almighty, thanks to God Almighty, Almighty, thanks to God Almighty, thanks to God Almighty, Almighty. So like thanks to God Almighty, thanks to God Almighty, Almighty, thanks to God Almighty, thanks to God Almighty, Almighty. See every day, man the ginger all day, man the hustle all day. Yeah, paper all day. All up there, Motibo, con the art from shade na lotto. Where you con the get the moto. All the girls that done the photo. I'm going on my way, got nothing else to say. Good girl, shine it down. Good girl, shine it down. Thanks to God Almighty, thanks to God Almighty, Almighty, thanks to God Almighty, thanks to God Almighty, Almighty. So like thanks to God Almighty, thanks to God Almighty, Almighty, thanks to God Almighty, thanks to God Almighty, Almighty.
Let it shine on me.
Oh shit. I grab blood and sweat cause I am just a rider. Don't let the player hit the game, just a rider. Riding steady on the fast lane, just a rider. Riding steady on the fast lane, just a rider. I grab blood and sweat cause I am just a rider. Don't let the player hit the game, just a rider. Riding steady on the fast lane, just a rider. Riding steady on the fast lane, just a rider. Oh yeah, blood inside my head, complicated man, trying to find my way. Pussy okay. Other niggas on the way, so I pour it out for them all day. Trying to find my way, every day. See my bitch, I do the hustle for pay. Fuck up my day, right up my way. Got the illusions, it clearly my way. Every day. See my bitch, I do the hustle for pay. Fuck up my day, right up my way. Got the illusions, it clearly my way. I got blood, I got sweat. Can you feel my pain? I know niggas on the way. Can you feel my pain? I got my pain, can you feel my pain? I got blood, I got sweat. Can you feel my pain? I know niggas on the way. Can you feel my pain? Look what you came for the pain, just a rider. Don't want to play, hit the game, just a rider. Riding steady on the fast lane, just a rider. Riding steady on the fast lane, just a rider. I grab out and spread the sign, just a rider. Don't want to play, hit the game, just a rider. Riding steady on the fast lane, just a rider. Riding steady on the fast lane, just a rider. mentality. I want to give you follow my destiny, my enemy, holy mortality,
This is Black Hot Fire Radio, media for the 21st century.
Yes, I. This is the Black Hot Fire Radio media for the 21st century. And of course, karibuni sana once again to the Pan-African Bliss Show. My name is Joby, and you're tuned in into the Black Hot Fire Radio media for the 21st century. We are live and interactive on our social media handles. And of course, it being on a Thursday. Even on a Thursday, we know how we're taking this, session off today. We're throwing it all the way back to back, and of course, get to playing you, amazing music just to keep you positively vibrated to the, session of today, and of course, to the topic and the session of today. Let me just say the session of today in general. Nonetheless, karibuni sana once again to the Pan-African Bliss Show. My name is Joby, and this is the Black Hot Fire Network media for the 21st century. As I said, we are live and interactive on our social media handles. We are on Facebook at the Black Hot Fire Radio, on Twitter at the Black Hot Fire Network, using the hashtag Pan-African Bliss with Joby, and hashtag Black Hot Fire Network. And also you can get hold of us, that is on our Instagram at the Black Hot Fire Network. Tell us where you're tuning in from, and of course, how is your Wednesday, how is your Thursday coming along, and of course, how is your week coming along? Because I keep on saying, the week does start, and you keep on saying that you have some manifestos for yourself, but when you come to realize it, the week ends and you've not even done anything for yourself. Nonetheless, I hope you are doing great. It being on a Thursday, we are using the hashtag TBT. What is it that you remember the most? Maybe something that you did get to do when you were young. Yeah. Something that you did get to, or maybe some pictures, because I do know in the likes of, when you speak of TBT or throwing it back, you might be checking onto your albums, you might be checking onto your, the pictures your parents took you, or rather took of you when you were young. And of course, you also get to remember some music of way back, because when I was just entering in the studio, I did get to, find Spike's playing some amazing jams from way back with in the likes of Armani. We have Juakali, we have Major. As much as Major right now is back in the game, he's still doing the most, and he has still done the most even since way back. Nonetheless, karibuni sana once again. This is the Pan-African Bliss Show, and of course, you can also call us in, WhatsApp us, or SMS us at the +254 754 402 730. Tell us where you're streaming in from, where you're listening to us from. How is your week coming along? As I said, because I do believe some of us, or maybe some people, do wake up with so many difficulties, and you're just like, where do I start? But here on the Pan-African Bliss Show, trust me, we got you. We start our day with some keep you going throughout the day. And also, you can get hold of us. That is before we get onto the quote of the day. You can get hold of us on our website at the www.blackhotfirenetwork.com. And of course, once you log in, you can be able to create your own profile, join the Black Hot Fire family. And once you also log in, you'll be able to we'll be able to see some contents, the videos that we've been talking, the topics that we've been talking about, because here on the Black Hot Fire Network, we're all about positive vibrations, as I keep on saying, and we discuss matters concerning the African continent and bringing our fellow brothers and sisters together, because we've seen where in the likes of Africa, it has we have been not united for so long, and it's high time that we keep on raising these topics. We keep on raising alarms each and every day, trying to educate people and telling them more and more of what is really happening. I'm really sorry, maybe because of the background noise, and you do believe that kids have closed the school, and they're all over the place. They're really all over the place. And you can also get all of us, that is on you can download the app on the Google Play Store and get to enjoy these amazing vibes. I did get to play the first amazing vibe. The first jam was by the one and only Lex the Wolf. Even the second one was by the one and only Lex the Wolf. He's doing the most all the way from Nigeria. The first song was Thank You, God, because at the end of the day, as I keep on saying, we need to appreciate the universe and thank our creator for protecting us throughout the week. Not so many of, so many people who have, been able to reach, or rather get to this point. Not so many people. And of course, every day on the ground, it's a blessing, and we do get to appreciate our creator and God for everything that he has done into our lives so far. And of course, the second jam was Rider Mentality by the one and only Lex the Wolf still. And of course, you can get to check out his music that is on YouTube and get to jam to his amazing vibes. I don't know what's up with the lightings, but I hope I'm gonna be able to correct that just after a moment. But for now, as we continue, because I said here on the Pan African Bliss Show, we all about, educating and giving some, giving quotes and motivating people out there, because you might be needing someone to motivate you, but you're not getting the opportunity to do so. So here on the Pan African Bliss Show, we are here to ensure that you are doing great and your day starts in a positive way. So the quote of today is, it's all about, let me just say generally, we all doubt ourselves, right? And you find sometimes you're trying to do something, but you just have there's a gut feeling that's telling you, you can do it. But let me tell you, you're capable of anything. There's nothing that you cannot do. That is one thing that you need to trust for sure. The quote of today goes by, the problem with the world is that intelligent people are full of doubts, while the stupid ones are full of confidence. The quote of today again goes by, the problem with the world is that intelligent people are full of doubts, while the stupid ones are full of confidence. And that is super true. I truly agree with that, because you'll find someone who's super intelligent, super talented, but you want to do something, but you just have a doubt of yourself, because I can say for so long, before this awakening that I have right now, I used to doubt myself so much. I know that I want to do this thing. I know that I have the capability, I have the abilities to do it, but I'm just doubting myself, like, am I going to do it correctly? Am I going to do it right? But right now I'm just the go-getter person, and that is why I want to, be able to ensure that you get the awakening as well and get to vibrate positive vibes into your life. Because as much as it is saying stupid people, they are full of confidence, I do believe no one is stupid. But at the end of the day, just gain your confidence and also fear, get the fear of doubt, out of your system, and all the negativities that you need to reject. Nonetheless, this is the Pan African Bliss Show with me, your host Joby, and of course, keep it the Blackout Fire Network, media for the 21st century. We're gonna take a short musical break once again. Then when we come back, we're gonna be checking into what is really happening in other different types of the world, because we have, cases arising, matters arising each and every day in different parts of the world. And of course, that is what we're gonna be checking about in terms of Kenya. We have in terms of Gabon, and we also have in terms of South Africa. We're gonna be touching on that a little bit. For now, I'm gonna be playing you one amazing jam, still from South Africa, and this is from Nigeria, sorry. And this is "Follow Me" by the one and only Praxkid Banks. Keep the Blackout Fire and Talk. We're gonna be right back.
First time that I set my eyes on you. I said to myself, and I beat up my chest, I go marry you, great peace. She fine like an angel that come from above me, I want you. Yeah, we are staying with me, don't run now. Even if you pay for my love, go be close to you. Oh yeah. Whenever you need me, my girl, I go there for you. Only you change, you stay around from me. Cause me, I want you, girl, I never run from you. Baby, follow me, go. I give you love, follow me, go. Let's go and stay, follow me, go. I give you joy, you follow me, go. You be my girl, follow me, go. I give you love, follow me, go. Let's go and stay, follow me, go. I give you my heart, follow me, go. Yeah. Let's go to our place where my mama no go see me, where your mama no go see us, where we go there happy. Make we start new life, make we start living our life, make we start new life, make we start feeling our life. Baby, you know say I want you. I can never change you for good, I can never change you for silver, cause you make me feel love. Those days I feel so loved. You come to my heart and you give me love. You come to my heart and you give me joy. Never will I ever let you go. Follow me, go. I give you love. Follow me, go. Let's go and stay. Follow me, go. I give you joy. Follow me, go. You be my girl. Follow me, go. I give give you love, follow me go. Let's go stay, follow me go. I give you my heart, follow me go. Yeah. Me, I know that you see it. Me, I go stay outside. Better say now you want. Better say now you want. She's cause you give me life. Yeah, you give me joy. You give me joy, girl. Me, I kinda like. You're the only one with me. I want, baby. I can never do without you, baby. She do me something. She do me something. She do me something.
Yes, sir. And that is Follow Me by the one and only Prince. Is it Prince Kid? The name is really kind of hard to pronounce, but I hope I'm pronouncing it super well. That is Pax Kid Banks, all the way from Nigeria, and it's Follow Me. And I hope you are following us. That is on our social media handles. As I said, we are live and interactive on Facebook at the Black Hot Fire Radio, on Twitter at the Black Hot Fire Network, using the hashtag Pan-African Bliss with Joby and hashtag Black Hot Fire Network. Tell us where you're streaming in from, and of course you can also get all of us. That is on still on social media. That is on Instagram at the Black Hot Fire Network. And tell us where you're streaming in from. How is your week coming along? It been on a Thursday. I'm just asking, what is it that you are remembering? You know, it could be maybe you're just flipping through your albums, just going through checking your your photos when you were super young. The photos that maybe your parents did get to take of you when you were super young, just watching the journey of you growing. It could be that, maybe you're celebrating or maybe remembering the TBTs. That is some throwback music from way back in the 90s, in the 2000s, early 2000s, and of course maybe it could also be some games. For me, I can say maybe I remember some games that I did get to play when I was young, because when you check right now with some of the kids, or rather the generation of today right now, maybe it's my siblings. I can talk in the likes of my siblings. When you see the kind of games they are playing right now, even they can't even get close to what we really used to play. We had different activities. We had a game called Kati. I think that one is still being played, but not so much. We had how we could draw a circle and put so many stones inside it, and maybe you're just throwing like this, just ensuring by the end of the day that you're going with the game and the flow how it's supposed to be going. And a new bunch, you just have to get out of there. But nonetheless, tell us and interact with us. Tell us, what are you celebrating today? What are you remembering? What is it that you are remembering that you did when you were young? For me, as I said, it's some games that I did get to, involve myself when I was young. Hi, Keith.
Hey, Joby. Good morning. You know what I'm remembering? You know what I'm remembering?
Tell me.
Today is my goddamn birthday. That's what I'm remembering.
What happened in your birthday? What happened?
I was born. Shit.
Oh my goodness, that's the only thing. I mean, TBTs have so many activities. When you talk a lot, in the likes of on Thursdays, you have so many things to remember.
Happy birthday, kid.
It's his birthday today. Oh my goodness, happy birthday, kid.
Hey, thank you.
I didn't get you at first. I was just like, okay, happy birthday. I wish you could send it all the way.
Yep. I get to be one. I get to be another year older.
That's nice. That is, we celebrate you today, and welcome to the show.
Thank you. How are you guys doing today?
We are good. You?
I'm okay. I gotta get up to Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm okay. Early as hell. It's like 4 o'clock. Like 4 o'clock in the damn morning. Jesus Christ, it's early. Shit.
It's super early, very early.
Yes, it's super early here. Super early. Very, very early. Very dark. And I got to go through some bad traffic in Atlanta, Georgia. So, yeah, early in the morning, still bad traffic here in Atlanta.
Okay. Anyways, maybe I'm just gonna get through what we want to discuss today, but I'm gonna touch on a little bit of some things that are really happening in different parts of Africa. And it has been reported that Gabon has become the first African country to get paid to protecting its forest. And it's been reported that Gabon recently received the first $17 million of pledged of a pledge that is 150 million from Norway for results-based emission reduction payment as part of the Central African Forest Initiative. And we've seen, I've not seen any other African country being celebrated because of, maybe, protecting its forest, and of course ensuring that in the environment is super, clean and everything. And, this is great.
Well, nah, it's not great.
It's not great.
No, Job, it's not great. No,
I mean,
why should Europeans pay for African forests, Joby? I want you to think. I told you, learn to critically think. What are they after? No one gives money for free, Joby. No one says, I'm giving this money so you can take care of your own household, Joby. If someone gives you money, want control of some aspect. They're not giving you money so you can.
You're breaking, Keith. You're breaking, Keith. I can't hear you. Keith, you're breaking. I can't hear anything that you're saying. But personally, I thought that this was great until Keith said that it isn't great. But personally, I think I'm celebrating that Gabon becoming the first African country. Despite it being paid, they are protecting what is really theirs, and of course, they are natural resources.
So, I think I'm breaking. Can you hear me, Joby? I think I'm breaking up.
I can hear you right now.
What country are we talking about?
Gabon.
Yeah, okay. We're talking about Gabon, a corrupt, backward ass African country that's had the same dictator, I think, for the last 40 years. So, people in Gabon the people in Gabon are living in abject poverty. It's a corrupt, ex-French, still controlling rule. It's backward as hell. So them talking about, we're gonna get something so they can control their force is idiotic, because it's not gonna go to the force. It's gonna go whatever corrupt leader that they put in power. They calm down.
You're breaking.
Must see that shit. I'm breaking up.
Right now, I can hear you. You were saying?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm saying you have a corrupt system that everybody's talking about. It's great that you're giving handouts by white people. It's not great that you're giving handouts by these corrupt who have an agenda that they're backing. Gabon is a backward ass ex-French, that's what they call it, ex-French colony. The French still control it. The leaders corrupt this shit. He's been in power like 35, 40 years, whatever. People are impoverished. And we supposed to get thanks about Africans getting paid to take care of their own environment is idiotic. Because the African always took care of his environment before the Europeans got there.
Yeah.
The Europeans that came in animals, slaughtered all the tigers.
I think I'm relating. I think I'm relating with the story that you're trying to say, but I didn't get the whole thing and didn't get to understand that them being paid that by the Europeans it's bad. I didn't understand it's them being paid. They were being paid by the Europeans, but I'm relating with the story that we were talking the other day with the spikes, whereby Zimbabwe, whereby a land was grabbed from them. That is during the colonization period, and then who is it? Spikes, kindly remind me. Sorry? Yeah, the Europeans want back the land back, whereby it was
they want the land back they want the land back that they stole. They want the land back that they stole, Joby.
they want a compensation out of it. But the thing is, you come and steal a land out, away from my home, or rather you take something that I own, and then later on I own it back. Then again you come back and tell me that you want a compensation. That was one thing that we were saying that is super wrong. There's no way you are a thief.
Welcome to European power, Joby. Welcome to how the world works. Welcome to how white people are. I told you who owns most of the tea fields in Kenya, Joby. Who owns it? Not the African. European owns it. They never gave it back because they put their first president of Kenya in office and set up the Kenyatta family. That's a puppet family. The Kenyatas were not rich. They used them so they could still keep the land. When the Kenyans were fighting to get rid of Europeans, which is not taught in Kenyan history, which is crazy to me, when they fought because they were going to wipe out Kenyan people. Whole deal, the white man said we're going to kill these, well, you wouldn't call it Kenyans yet. It was that part of Africa. So we're going to kill all these niggas off. And we're going to make this a white man country, saying where they get Australia. Australia was a black land. I don't know if you know that, Joby. Australia was black. They killed all the black people off and then took over the country. Everybody said a bunch of white people now in Australia. So that was the thing they were going to do with Kenya, because Kenya's temperature is beneficial to white people. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. So they like the area. So the whole idea was we're going to wipe out the Kenyans. We're going to wipe their ass out and make this a white. We'll keep some of them alive to be our servants. We'll keep some of these blacks alive to be our servants, but it's going to be a white man's country. So when the Africans in Kenya started fighting back, said, no, we're not going to let you wipe us out and take over the country. So them being Europeans and smart, again, African has too much humanity and doesn't know his enemy. So when they made the deal, they put their puppet, Jomo Kenyatta, and said, listen here, okay, we'll give you false independence, but we must still own the land that we stole. So he allowed, he said, okay, we're going to set you up. We're going to set you and your family up. We're going to make you rich. And then we're going to let you be in power. But you're going to let us keep the land that we stole. So all that land in Kenya is controlled and owned by white people who didn't never buy it. They came to Africa and they stole it.
When we speak of matters of land, Keith, even here in the 254, in the different parts of Africa, some people will find that maybe I go out of my way, I buy a land somewhere, I want to invest there, maybe build a house for my family there, just somewhere that I'm going to invest for the rest of my life, But later on, you'll find that after 3-5 years, you've already settled down. You're already you don't have any issues with anyone. You have the title deed and everything. You find that the government will come later on and they'll grab the land, because we've seen in the likes of where there's some, as I was telling you the other day.
You know why? Because there's only so much land, and most of the land in Kenya they're giving to white people. They can't let the black population know that. Most of the land in Kenya is owned by white people. It's just like South Africa. It's just that you fought. The African in South Africa never fought. He never fought. He never went to war with these crackers. That's why they're there. The African in Kenya went to war against these white people. And
also,
go ahead, Joby.
It raises also an alarm that has happened right now in Kenya, whereby it's been reported that the KICC building, the title deed was not registered under the state of Kenya, and the name of the owner is unknown. And I think it's been taken to the court, because it's been reported these are buildings that has been holding conferences and the tourist exhibitions for quite a longer time. But right now it's been reported that it has no owner, and the land, the title deed has no owner. So they need to take the whole thing to the court and to see, But at the end of the day, when you come to think of it, or when you dig deeper onto the stories, because they're saying the identity of the person or entity whose name the title deed of the KCC land valued at 2.2 Kenyan shillings, 2.2 billion Kenyan shillings is registered, remains anonymous. So it has no owner. And it's a building that has been there for quite a longer period. And I think it might go on like this till the European...
You think it's anonymous. You think it's not anonymous. You think it's anonymous. The powers that be know who owns it. The powers that be know who owns it, and it's not an African. You can bet that. you can bet that. That's why when I send you guys to Mombasa, Africa doesn't own any of those hotels. Those are European-owned or Arab-owned entities. They came in to steal Africa, and that's what they've done. The whole thing was to come in and steal the continent, and so most of the land in Africa, especially Kenya, is owned by white. That's why farming in Kenya should nobody ever go hungry in Kenya ever, or any African country anyway. But the Europeans own it, and they'll produce what they want to produce on it for the benefit of Europe, not for the benefit of Africa. So when you go to these big tea plantations and coffee plantations in Kenya, the European owns that shit. How the fuck does a European own some shit in Africa? He didn't pay for it. He stole it. He came in like he did in South Africa and stole it.
And they're still stealing, because if this kind of case is really rising up right now, you'll find that even at the end of the day, so many buildings that we see here in Kenya, they're not even owned by our own government or even by our own. They're full of loans, and they belong to the Europeans. That is one thing that is really clear right now.
Yeah, they belong to the Europeans. That's why you don't. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. You can't trust the news that you look at, Joby. You don't own Africans. Kenyans don't own none of that news in Nairobi. None of that shit in Kenya. They don't own it. That's owned by people. That's owned by foreign powers who have interest in stealing from you. They're not there to engage and say, "Let me teach you what's really going on, Joby, in the world and the news in Kenya." It's to lie to you. It's propaganda.
They control everything that they want us to see and what they want us to see. I was just telling my grandma is in Nairobi, and I was just trying to explain to her yesterday, because she was asking me, why are people taking this vaccination? Do they understand that it's really bad, And she was just like,
thank God your grandmother knows. Thank God. Thank God. Thank God.
She does. She does, and she was just like, let the fools ones take it. And she was telling me how back in the, in our rural area, how people are really running away from, those people when they try to come and tell them, we want you to take the vaccination for you to be protected. They're just like, no, we don't want this thing.
Exactly. It's happening in Kenya like it is Uganda, like all Africa. Thank God to wake up. It's slow, but it's happening. Thank God. Kenyans, don't you touch that shit.
True. Even the other day, my cousin was telling me, a certain cousin of mine was telling me that he almost got injected, but I don't know what really happened, that they tampered with the papers, that he missed the whole thing, and he was really scared for his life. And it seems that right now, even in Africa, it's going to be a mandatory for people to take this vaccination.
It's not going to be mandatory. You're the people. You go to war. The government. You're the majority. You're the majority. You're the majority, Joby. Can't no government do nothing to you. You are the majority. If the people say no, they say no. That's what you got to understand. But since you say you're the government, and you're the majority, not the people that's in the government. You are. So if you say no, it means no. And they can't force you to do shit. It's no.
But the problem, you might find that maybe 30% of us only know, or rather will be able to say no.
All it takes is a critical mass. All you need is 30%, Joby. Really, in any kind of revolution, all you need is 10% of the masses. That's that history. All you got 10% of the masses that know what's going on. The rest of the people are always going to be sheep. Your ancestors said this. This is what the ancestors said. You have three types of people. You have the spiritual in Africa, people that actually know what the hell's going on, the spiritual awakening. You have the intellectual, and then you have the automatons. The majority of the automatons, and they're just always going to be cannon fodder, or people that are going to die. But all you need is 10% of a population, Joby, and you'll change the population, because those 10% are the awakened, as the ancestors said. So you have a spiritual class, an intellectual class, and you have a group of Africans that just there to be told what to do. It's not going to make it. It's not going to make it. So. Go, Joby.
I wanted to share a video today by DR.ARIKANA, whereby she was talking about how we can solve, the African problems, and she was discussing deeper and telling us to be awakened, because right now not everyone can see how what is really happening. Not everyone understand what is really happening, and the
But they
government
wasn't educated. But they wasn't educated, Joe. But they didn't have access to information. The reason why the African doesn't know, he was poorly miseducated by the colonial powers. Even when you left, when you supposed to got freedom, you were supposed to rip up their fake education and go back to your own. Your enemy is not going to teach you how to. If I'm ruling over you, Joby, I'm not going to teach you how to overthrow me. I'm not going to teach you, Joby, how to overthrow me. But there's no benefit. I said, okay, I'm ruling Joby. I'm getting all this money from Joby. I took over a house. So I'm going to teach Joby how to overthrow me? Hell no.
Well, I'm just gonna share the video and you'll get to see what Dr. Arikana had to say, because personally I did love the message, and I hope that our fellow families here in the Black Fire Network will also be able to understand what we really
we had on the channel like 3 years. We had Dr. Africana on the channel like 3 years ago. Was it 4 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Ever go ahead.
PGI. I am so glad to be here with you today to discuss this so very important topic pertaining to how we, the children of Africa, can decide and strategize in building the Africa that we want. We cannot start at a better place than innovation. Mm-hmm. Africa is full of talent. Talent, sadly, in many cases, will never be realized. As ADDI, we are saying, we know you're out there, and we want to come together, and we want you to tell us about that which you do. But more importantly, we also would like to begin to create an environment that makes it easier for you to continue to do your work, because it is young people like you, inventors like you, that are going to truly set the way forward for Africa's development. We are in an environment today of the African Continental Free Trade Area. For those of you who are not familiar with it, let me take you back to 1963, May 25th, in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Our Pan-African fathers met with the hope of creating an Africa that spoke with one voice. Unfortunately, the Casablanca group, who were the Pan-Africanists, they failed to reach a consensus.
Because of Europe, pause it. Dr. Africana, you guys said the whole thing because the Europeans said no. They know when Africa is united, Africans rule the world. So when they came together in 63, they said, listen, we can't make these borders. We can't make a Kenya. We can't make a Nigeria. We can't make a Ghana. We got to make one Africa again. We got to make one Africa. And the Europeans, hell no. Because hell no. We're not going to allow these Africans to make no one Africa. Fuck that.
I also keep on saying that if we unite, and maybe if we unite as Africans, be it you in diaspora, be it you in Ghana, wherever you are, so long as we unite, and we'll have the power to overcome these people, because our unity is stronger than
you got to understand that one thing the European did, and that's in their government documents. Mm-hmm. In America, said we cannot allow the African American to reunite back with Africans. That's in their documents. And also in the UN, it says we must always keep the African divided. That's the reason why they cut up Africa into these countries. Those countries you're in were not created by black people, Joby. The Europeans created Kenya. Europeans created Nigeria. Europeans created South Africa, Zimbabwe, Angola. They created these countries. There were no borders in Africa. So that's why people say you to be tribal and to call yourself something, you don't know African history. Africans walked freely throughout the continent. There was no West African, no East African, no Southern African. Africans walked all throughout the continent and went wherever they wanted to go. Go, Joe.
Professor Patrick Lumumba did talk about that too, whereby we see right now, but when you want to go to let me say when you want to go to Zimbabwe, or maybe you want to go to Uganda, you have to go to the embassies first. There's no freedom of people walking into the African continent anymore.
That's what they wanted. Mm-hmm. So now with their system and over 100 years of colonization, You don't know each other no more. So the generations go out think we're different. We don't know. You were never different. There's only one African culture. There's differentiations between the culture, but there's only one African culture, and you share continental wide. It's just variations because of time and distance from one another. But it's all, that's why you got a chief in Kenya and a chief in Ghana and a chief down in Namibia, because it's the same culture.
Yeah.
And you haven't learned that because you've been divided because of these dumbass borders, and you've been isolated from one another.
True. Well, I'm just gonna keep on playing the video.
You speak English, they speak French, and so you don't know each other, and you can't communicate anymore. And that's on purpose. I keep you divided, and so I can conquer and steal the riches out of Africa.
True.
What is it that the Pan-African fathers wanted, the Casablanca? They wanted an Africa that spoke with one voice, an Africa that was
united,
an Africa that had a single currency, an Africa that had a single central bank, single monetary policy, an Africa that was taking care of herself, and an Africa that had a single customs union. Of all the wishes that the Pan-African fathers had back in 1963, it wasn't until January of this year that only one of those wishes, which is a single customs union, we have now finally taken the right step in accomplishing one of those wishes. We still don't have a single currency. We don't have a single military. We don't have a single stock exchange. We don't have a single monetary policy. So everything the Pan-African fathers hoped
you understand that, Dr. ARIKANA? Because Africa was not supposed to have a single military, because it would dominate the globe. You must have all these weak-ass fake militaries, a Kenyan, a Tanzanian, a Nigerian. What African military would dominate the globe again? And that's what they're trying to stop. Africans, you rule the world. And you don't know that no more. You rule the world.
Yeah. We are icons.
Yeah.
Only beginning to take baby steps towards accomplishing just one, which is a single customs union. What does that mean to you, inventors? And I need you to follow me closely, because I want you to know and understand the opportunities that are being opened up with Continental Free Trade Area. The Secretariat for the Continental Free Trade Area is based in Ghana, and it is headed by a brother from South Africa. What the Secretariat is tasked with doing is coming up with what they are calling common standards. Because remember, we are now trying to have an Africa that is integrated when it comes to trade. Let me take, for example, a potato grower in Zambia. The potato grower in Zambia is counting on the Ministry of Agriculture in Zambia to provide them with that which they need to prepare their potato, so their potato can go through borders from Zambia to Egypt. That means that farmer must have a means of documenting the type of soil. If his potato is organic, he has to have a means of documenting that his soil was properly prepared without chemicals. The Minister of Agriculture has a responsibility of creating that process. But for the Minister of Agriculture to create that process, they must get the common standards from the Secretariat in Ghana. So now, a potato farmer from anywhere in Africa is going to wait for instructions from the Minister of Agriculture to figure out how to label, periodically confirm that you're growing your organic potato in the manner that the CFTA has mandated. Not only the type of soil, but also the storage after you have grown your potato, how you harvested it, how you have stored it, because even the process of storing your potato can actually ruin that potato to where it can become poisonous to the people. All that information has to come from the Ministry of Agriculture. That's just for one potato. That labeling process, the generation of that label that's going to be put on that potato, so that potato can leave the farm in Zambia and get on the truck and then be able to pass through the different borders. But those borders must be prepared to receive the information that came from this potato farmer in Zambia. So by the time that truck hits the DRC border, the information about that potato is in DRC. And when they get to the next border, that border already has that information. So from when that potato is grown, all that information needs to be coordinated within Africa. I'm using this example to say, you inventors, I want you to understand the enormity of the opportunities that are being opened up by the CFTA. So now the common standards are coming from the Secretariat. They are going for agriculture. They are getting the common standards on how agricultural products should be handled, from growing them to harvesting them to storing them to transporting them around the continent. Keep in mind that 90% of the goods, agriculture, all of it, they're going to be duty-free. So these products, when you grow this potato, you're only paying taxes in Zambia. You don't pay taxes throughout the rest of the continent. If it's minerals, the common standards are going to go to the Ministry of Mining. Every product, every good that's going to be transported and traded within Africa, they are going to follow the common standards. Now, here is the challenge. When the common standards are sent from the Secretariat to the government, this is where we are going to run into problems, because the governments are not quite prepared to come up with the software, to come up with the blockchains, to come up with the inventions that will simplify the process. So you inventors, you have a tremendous opportunity from assisting or coming up with software that you can then say, if we can have it, UNECA, for example, Economic Commission for Africa, which is a United Nations program, but they are responsible for implementing and assisting the Secretariat in implementing the AFCFTA. We could go to them and say, listen, this is what our inventors have come up with. This is the software that could be used in every Ministry of Agriculture to make sure that the processing of these products is seamless, because our governments are not prepared to do it. You inventors can do that. You inventors could come in and look at Africa with the bird's eye view and say, how do we coordinate logistics of moving this potato throughout Africa? And it's not just the potato, it's everything else. I'm staying with the potato so you can begin to be put on your thinking cap in terms of where are the opportunities. Everything I've told you right now, starting with the common standards from the Secretariat, common standards being sent to the countries for the various ministries, for the various products that are going to be traded around Africa. None of it is in place. I hope you're beginning to see the level of opportunities that I'm talking about.
Yes, we are.
You and your thinking minds. And if you need...
I mean, I totally agree with that, Keith, because we have so many opportunities, but we are denied all this due to the, how we're being controlled by the Europeans.
Yeah, exactly right. You've been controlled, Joe, because, listen, without Africa, Europe was always impoverished. You have to understand, they haven't taught you this. The European, he couldn't have been your God, Joe, because he was poor. He was, you go back and real European history, Europeans were poor. They were impoverished. I mean, the poverty that you see in Africa is nothing compared to what the European lived through. He was impoverished. Europe was poor. It doesn't have any minerals. Doesn't have any resources. That's why they end up going out. So they know. They've already told you. You had the French. What was the French president years ago? I think that was Francois Mitterrand, who told the truth. So if we let Africa go, France becomes a third world country. Yes, all of Europe becomes third world if they let Africa go. So it's the fight for them not to go back into poverty. And so so they must control your mind. They must control your educational system. They must have control, and there wasn't a fight and die. The Africans got to realize we got to fight and die to get Africa back to our children and grandchildren are not supposed to be impoverished, Joby. African people are not supposed to be impoverished, period. So when Dr. Africana started talking that when she was part of the African Union, she was an ambassador, the Europeans control it, they fired her ass. So, this lady is starting to talk, getting Africa back its freedom. Hey, fire her ass. They fired her. You know, they sacked her.
Yeah, I was just saying the other day whereby I think that somehow not blaming our grandmas or maybe our parents, but because themselves they're running away from our history. You know, they don't want to understand our history. That is why the young
then they gotta be blamed. It's like Sheppo and South Africa, the elders. You gotta blame the elders. We gotta blame them for I know we go. If I know African science, Africans, they say the Africans went through a cosmic sleep. That we, because of the rhythms of the universe, Africans go to sleep. We become dumber. Okay, I get that. But somebody's got to take responsibility how the African went from wealthy to now poor and now believing in religions that have destroyed us, that are lies. Somebody agreed to this shit all over the continent. So somebody's got to take blame. Damn it, can't be always, well, there's no blame. There's nobody to blame. Somebody's to blame.
We have to blame them. And I was just, as I was reflecting to the whole thing, because you find that our parents, they're running away. Even though there are some of our grandmas or maybe even the grandparents that we have even right now, we have some grand people who are really digital right now. And they don't want to live onto the African culture. They don't want the African history. They want to live the way the Europeans are living. They want to come.
They turn their back on. So that's why they say the Creator. A lot of people say the Creator turned our back on us, on African people, when the African turned their back on the Creator, the real God, not the fake one you were given by Europeans. A lot of people say the real Creator turned her back because the Creator is more feminine than masculine. The African knew that. Now you're worshiping some man God who ain't never lived. The universe is feminine, not masculine. That's why when Spike was on the show yesterday, and he knew, why do females live longer? Why are the babies first born? Every baby in a woman's stomach is always female first. Yeah. Always. Because that's the dominant energy in the universe. So that lets you know the creator of the universe is mostly feminine with a masculine side. Yeah. It's both feminine and masculine, but the feminine energy is dominant. So but the Europeans being fucked up in the head, and the Asians, they took the feminine and turned into a man, said, no, we don't like our women. So everything's going to be a man. And when you get the fake Bible that a woman came from a man, out of your mind. Can't no woman come from no man.
Well, I'm gonna share another video just as we get to wind up, because we're almost winding up. And this is whereby just the other day when I was speaking about not only our leaders are being controlled by the Europeans, also we, the common wananchi, we are being controlled, especially by the technology, how it is really tampering with our minds. Because I was saying the other day when I was telling you, whereby we've seen the resources, rather even when there's some videos which are really spreading out, the ones that are really telling about the jab, and the others which are telling people to take the jab and others not to take the jab. So right now
on their media, Joby, they own all the major media, social media, regular media, own it all. So they're gonna put them there that you're taking it. I'm gonna talk to you guys again off of YouTube behind the scenes today. I'm gonna show you guys something. Go ahead.
you'll find that most of us, even when you bump into these videos, you won't know what is true and what is fake. So you don't know what to believe, because you want to listen to, the medias and waiting for breaking news for different parts of,
You gotta know the media was designed to lie to you. You gotta be able to use discernment as you wake up and say, hey, this ain't what I see in the street. This is some bullshit. And understand the people that are on the media are controlled. They need a job. If they don't push what they're told to do, they'll be fired. They say, hey, I don't want to be poor. So you understand, it's not in your benefit. The media is to push a narrative that the ruling elite in the world want to put out there. This is what you're going to say. That's why you go all over the world. I told you, you see the same thing. See, if you knew science, statistically, that's impossible. No one can agree 100% on anything, Joby, not even in your family. So there would be dissenting opinions, but you see none of that nowhere. Everybody said, take the jab. Everybody take the vaccine. The vaccine, wear the mask, the lockdown. Everywhere on the globe, you've seen lockdowns, you've seen curfews, you've seen the mask. That lets you know that the world is controlled by a small group of people, and they control the whole damn world. Because you will have dissenting, just like any family. The daughter might say, nah, I don't believe that, Dad. I ain't going along with that. You say, what? I don't believe in that. Because you would have at least a few dissenting voices. Somebody has a different opinion. The world wasn't allowed to have a different opinion except for Magufuli, and they murdered his ass in Tanzania. He was murdered. You don't follow the line, we're going to get rid of your ass. So to let you know that this is an agenda. And you being an African, you're supposed to learn to critically think again. Not what to think, but how to think. So, hold on, something's fishy. How's everybody getting on the same playbook, and no one's got a dissenting opinion, dissenting view? That's not normal. Something's going on. And you as an African, you supposed to know these white people ain't never done me nothing good. So anything they're telling me to do, I'm going the opposite way. Go ahead, Joe.
Let me play the video and let us be able to understand what I'm really talking about.
It's a self-hate. It's a problem of self-hate which was instilled in us by our colonizers, because what colonizers do, they make you in their image. So black as you are, you think British, you are white. That's why
understand, Juice Molina is a puppet too. This dude's a puppet. He's what you call control opposition. He's allowed to say some truth, so they know you're waking up. So they put a puppet there, say, oh man, he's speaking some truth. But you don't know he's allowed to speak some truth, but not give you the whole truth. But go ahead, play him.
Closer to them, because they've made you in their image. Not only that, even gave you their language. And anything else that doesn't look like your colonizer is not an appealing thing. It's not right.
Bad. You being African is bad.
We're going to be a strong participant in the world. When we say that Africa must be great, we are not saying that Africa must be great, that she may conquer anybody. That is not the business of Africa. We are saying that Africa must be great so that she can participate in the affairs of the world on an equal footing with the others.
Oh, that was him in Florida. I just watched that video. He was here in Florida.
You let
the
participants in the new revolution. The nanotechnology that we talk about, let us be partakers of it. We now have software engineers, we have doctors, we have people who are technically savvy. Come and help the continent of Africa. Come and redefine the continent of Africa. It is waiting to be redefined, and we all must participate in that grand agenda, and it will be well with us. Because if we don't define Africa, then we will be defined by others.
Sure.
And when you are defined by others, then you lose your humanity.
And your value.
You're a slave.
And your value as well. You lose your humanity and your value as well.
Exactly.
When you become a thing, you'll be abused and be humiliated. Choose you now, whether you want to be human beings or you want to be things. God bless you.
And let us play the last part by Dr. Arikana. She did also get something, had something to say. And
that's root cause number 2.
I think it's the same video.
Root cause number 3, in my humble opinion. Have you ever wondered why African countries are given these frivolous loans with very high interest rates?
Exactly.
Term loan, African countries will pay 15 to 20% interest rate.
Mm-hmm.
Western countries are paying 1 to 2%, sometimes less.
That's right. White people don't pay nothing back. Africans pay 20, 30%. It's to keep you in perpetual poverty.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what? Okay.
So you can count on one hand at any given time the number of African countries that have defaulted on their loan repayments. Why is it then countries that have never defaulted on their loan repayments continue to be given huge interest rates by these financial institutions such as the World Bank, the IMF, the Paris Clubs, many other international organizations and institutions? Of course, now we have the Chinese. It's all by design to keep African countries chasing our tails. It is all by design because, remember, the Bretton Woods institutions, they were designed with the simple premise that their success is based on our failure.
On your failure, exactly. They can't be rich without Africa.
It's based.
Bretton Woods Accords, it's called the Bretton Woods Accords, Dr. Africa, 1947. Said we must control Africa. We must build the world out of Africa. Africa has all the riches, and we must keep these niggas impoverished. We give them our fucked up educational systems. They don't know which way is up, and we'll keep them like that. So we will be wealthy while they stay impoverished. We will keep them divided. We will give them trinkets. We will put puppets in power to control our interests in Africa. And then we would try to murder them off with vaccines and fucking fake diseases that we create in the lab. That's what's been going on. We got AIDS where did AIDS come from? Came from the lab, dummy. Came from white people creating the lab to kill Africans. That's where it came from.
I remember when I was arguing with that cousin of mine and I told him about AIDS, and he said that, that is not true. AIDS came from Africa. And I was just told him,
AIDS came from Africa. Oh my God. Who said that?
The person that I was arguing with the other day.
Oh my God, your cousin's a moron.
he got angry and chased me away.
AIDS came from Africa. Oh my God. Okay, hold on. Let's pull this up right now. Joby. Say, I want you to go on to Google. You know, Google's a liar, but we'll use Google. Google tells the truth. Say, where were the first cases of AIDS found in the world? It's going to be the United States. Before that, I already know where it was, but he comes to Africa. Say, ask Google, say, where were the first cases of AIDS found in the world? And it's going to tell you in New York, most likely. But it was created in a lab in America back in the late 1960s, early 70s.
HIV first began to spread along the historical trade routes of, they say, the Congo Basin in the 1920s.
1920s. I told you. Their lies now saying that African had sex with a gorilla in the Congo. That's how you tell Spike. So they even perpetuate that lie. So they scrub the internet. That's a lie. They come out no damn Congo.
They're saying it's from the Democratic of Congo. That is what they're telling us.
I told you. I just tell Spike. They said an African had sex with a gorilla in the Congo. And that's how it happened. That's a lie. Now for that you got to go to DuckDuckGo. It came out of Fort Detrick, Maryland. It's a bioweapon. That's why it has a patent. So do this, Joby. Say, ask Google, so since they lied, ask Google, does the AIDS virus have a patent? Say, does the AIDS or HIV a disease, a virus, whatever you want to call it, have a patent? And the answer is yes, because it was created. That's why it has a patent. Somebody owns the shit. So just ask Google this, because they know that now they're erasing all the real history because people are starting to ask questions now. Say, does HIV or AIDS variant have a patent?
Pattern, right? A pattern.
Yes, a patent.
They're saying, although very rare, transmissions can occur if both partners have sores or bleeding gums and blood from their partners with HIV. With HIV gets into the bloodstreams of the negative partner. Pattern.
Yeah, does it have a patent?
Oh, okay.
Patent means somebody, when you talk about a patent, people get patents when they have ownership. This to claim ownership of something, so they're the only ones that can be able to sell it. So it's called a patent. Whenever you invent something, you want to get a patent on it, so other people can't steal your inventions and make money off of it and claim it as their own. So the AIDS virus has a patent. Means it was created, just like Ebola. Go ahead.
They're saying as HIV and AIDS is quite recent in medical history, most of drugs created especially to treat HIV infections are proprietary. That's what they're saying.
I'm not talking about fight it. I'm talking about just the virus itself is patented. So you don't know how to find it. I'm gonna have to show you how to research it. It's patent. It means it was created in the lab. And it started here in the United States, not no fucking Africa in those 1920s. It was Africa in the 1920s. Why did it just start becoming deadly until the 90s? So it stayed dormant in the Congo for damn 60 years, 70 years. You don't get that. See, think of the lie they tell you. It started in the Congo, but then nobody started getting infected until the 1990s, huh? In Africa. So how the hell did it stay dormant for 70 years? It's a lie. It's not just a lie, it's a goddamn lie.
Yeah.
It was created here in America by the US military. It is a bioweapon to murder off African people globally. That's what it is. Just like Ebola was created in the lab. And this other thing that we're talking about on the planet that they're now saying they know wasn't created in a wet market that we're not allowed to discuss was created in a motherfucking lab as a bio weapon.
Well, we are coming to the end of the show.
But you're allowed to say that now because too much evidence is coming out. Now YouTube's allowing you to say it because there's too much. It didn't come from nobody eating no fucking bat in China.
No one
believes a bioweapon caught it in the lab.
Even if you tell them, no one will believe that. They'll believe that all these diseases that the Europeans say that they are coming from Africa, it is true, and that is what they want to believe.
They believe it. That means you have a self-hate issue. Like Jules Molina said in the beginning of your video, you were patterned at the Europeans. You were told to hate yourself, to find no value in anything African, find no value in anything that you learned from yourself as African people. You were destroyed as an African. And then you don't know your history. If I come back and tell you, listen, Africans, you ruled the world. You be like, no, I didn't. No, the white man told me I never done anything. So I believe him. I said, well, the white man's lying to you. Let me show you history. Let me show it to you. This is you. This is you going out in the world, civilizing white people, teach them how to read and write. I've never seen this. I don't believe it. White man never told me that. So you're like, okay, fuck it.
But we are coming to the end of the show, and I want to appreciate you, Keith, for your sentiments. And of course, thank you for giving us this platform. We're gonna be catching you up on the next shows, and of course, you say that you're gonna call us in. That is on the
Just likes to answer his damn phone.
He had that. He's loud and clear, and he had that. But nonetheless, I want to appreciate everyone who has joined us, and of course, this has been the Pan African Bliss Show with me, your host Joby, and this is the
family.
Much love to you too, Keith, and happy birthday once again. I wish we could send gifts, but the distance is a barrier. The distance is a barrier, but happy birthday to you.
The distance only mental. We're all one people.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as distance for communication. I'm as close as you think, Joby. I'm as close as you think. Even though I'm driving through Atlanta and I'm dodging gate people left and right. Get away from me, homosexual. Anyway, much love, family.
Happy birthday once again. I hope you have a good one. Nonetheless, our family want to wind up, and we're going to be winding up with an amazing song all the way from Nigeria by the one and only Josephine. And I want to appreciate everyone. And of course, I hope at the end of the day that you have learned something, because as I keep on saying, we are all about educating, and ensuring that we unite as Africans, because there's so much division, or rather how the Europeans want to divide us. But at the end of the day, we need to, own the power and overcome them, because as I keep on saying, when we unite, we're going to have power to overcome these people, and we'll be able to make our own decision in a peaceful way and without any demerits affecting us. Nonetheless, keep it the Black Hot Fire. Once again, we're gonna be right back with the Rhythm Scoop Show and of course the 254 to Jadili Show. For now, I want to say kwaherini. Have a good and lovely afternoon.
Baby, you don't send me, I get the juice. And I get the shots. I go cook you nice pepper soup. With no so much sauce. I go do the dance together. Give me the time to my back. Trust me, I will rock you, mother. You go love me more like I got.